This week's Parsha, Yaakov finds out Yosef is alive in Mitzrayim. Yosef invites him to come live in Goshen because there was a hunger. Eventually Yaakov agrees, but he was still very scared. He was very afraid of coming to Mitzrayim. And the Pasuk tells us, as he was leaving on the way, Hashem comes to him in a vision and says, Yaakov, Yaakov, don't be afraid to go down to Mitzrayim. Because I'm going to make you into a big nation there. And then Hashem says, Anoichi ered imcha Mitzrayim. I will come down with you to Mitzrayim. V'anoichi alcha gam ole. I will also take you out of Mitzrayim. So this is already the story where the Galus of Mitzrayim is beginning. We're already going down to Mitzrayim, the 210 years starting now. The actual work already started later, after all the Shvatim died. So we know that in Yiddishkeit, Galus and Geula seems to be a very central point. We're obsessed. Everything is Zeichel Yetzias Mitzrayim. And we're in Galus now, Asara B'Tevis today, because of Galus. What is this theme of Galus and Geula, which seems to be so central in every part of benching and davening and mitzvahs? The truth is that Galus and Geula is not historical events. As we say, B'chol Dor V'Dor, B'chol Yom V'Yom, we have Yetzias Mitzrayim. Every day we say Parshas Yetzias Mitzrayim, twice a day, 3 times a day. Because Yetzias Mitzrayim is our life. Our life is a story of Galus and Geula. On a small level, on a day-to-day level, on a macro level of our journey of our life as a whole. Because a lot of times in life we find ourselves in Galus. We find ourselves to painful times of confusion, where we're unable to live the lives we want to live. We're enslaved psychologically, spiritually, to different things, to different distractions, to people, to societies around us, to things inside of ourselves, our addictions and things that we can't seem to shake. And we know that that's not who we really are. It's not who we really want to be. It's not what makes us alive. Because it's Galus. We can be in Galus in ourselves, and especially now because the general reality is Galus right now. So when Hashem tells Yaakov Avinu, Anoichi ered imcha Mitzrayim, I'm going to come down with you in Mitzrayim, Chazal say, that teaches us that the Shechina is always in Galus with us. Wherever we go, Shechinta begalusa. What is the idea of Shechinta begalusa? As Vayigash explains in this week's Parsha, a very fascinating thing. He says, we can look at Galus as like a punishment. That's how we were used to looking at Galus. That we did something wrong, there's got to be something we did wrong, and then we get punished, we go to Galus, and we have to sit through this suffering until we can finally be redeemed. Hashem has mercy on us. The Galus has nothing to do with the Geula. The Galus is just a punishment for something in the past, and the Geula is something coming out of that punishment and starting anew. But all the Sfarim say this, and Shlema says this as well, and many other Sfarim, in the whole spectrum of Yiddishkeit, say this idea that Galus is a preparation for Geula. Galus is the Sfasema's words is the shirish, it's the root of Geula. Because the only way to reach Geula, which is revelation, which is clarity, and where a new light comes into existence, has to go through first Galus. It's like when you plant something, you put a seed in the ground. Before anything grows, there has to be the shorish, the roots have to take root, and what happens then? The seed goes moldy, it rots, and it starts. The roots have to push through the soil and try and get some water, and that process is really difficult. But that is the way to bring forth a beautiful plant afterwards. So I'm able to be matzmiach Yeshua, to get the Yeshua and the Geula to bloom. There has to be Galus. And that's what happened in Mitzrayim. Hashem said, Anoichi. What's Anoichi? Says Vasemes, Anoichi Hashem Elekecha. The point of Galus Mitzrayim was to get to Anoichi Hashem Elekecha. As we know, Yetzias Mitzrayim, it says in the Pasuk, Tavdun Asadakim al Harazet, the point of Yetzias Mitzrayim, the Geula of Anoichi Alcha Gam Aloi, was to get to Yetzias Mitzrayim. But the truth is also the Galus was to get to the Anoichi. So when we in life realize that difficult times in life, sometimes it can last for days and weeks, sometimes even years. People go through times where they're in Galus. They're not able to live a life that makes them happy. The life is sometimes our lives are just miserable and disconnected, and we don't feel, there's so much pain. But when we realize that Hashem is with us, Shchinta B'Galusa, and this is now the purpose of our life, this is the purpose of reality right now, that is part of the journey. And not only is it part of the journey, it's the only way to really reveal the depths of our lives, of ourselves. Because when we go through difficult times, we're able to really tap into who we really are and what we're really about and what makes us happy and what makes us feel alive. And then that's really the depth of our lives. And Galus Mitzrayim was the time when Klal Yisrael went through hardship, and then they were able to reveal. Matan Torah was only able to happen after Galus Mitzrayim, because Matan Torah was revealing a new light in the world, a new depth of what reality is. And the same thing is with us in the day-to-day lives. Yetzias Mitzrayim and Galus Mitzrayim happens to us day to day, week by week. It's constantly in different areas of our life. We have some Galus, and we finally we work through the Galus. It's not something we have to sit out and either get comfortable with. That's the worst thing. When we start getting comfortable with the Galus and we feel we're happy to be enslaved, and we feel free by conceding to the slavery. Rav Kook says that the biggest slavery is the fake freedom. Fake freedom when we feel like we're free, but really we're so enslaved that we don't even know we're enslaved. That's the biggest slavery. So when we're able to realize that Hashem is with us in every situation, and we're able to find the deeper purpose in it, and we cry out to Hashem, we daven to Hashem, and we look for the deeper meaning in our lives, and we try and make the most of it, and that's how we find deeper depths and revelations in our lives. And so now we're in Galus, we've been Galus for so many years, and because the light of Mashiach is going to be so great, so much revelation, so much, the whole world's going to change on the depth of reality is going to be revealed on a whole new level. That's why the Galus has been so long and so dark, where we're so enslaved, especially now in today's day and age, where we're not enslaved to like outside. It's not like Mitzrayim where we're enslaved to like bricks and mortar. We're enslaved to ourselves. We're enslaved to society, to so many distractions, and because it's the enslavement of the mind and spirit. And when Mashiach will come, the Geula will be a Geula of the mind and spirit, where all of us will just be completely enlightened and freed from all our inhibitions, and just see with clarity what truth is and what's amazing and how amazing Hashem is. And so we should be zeicher that the Tanis Asar B'Teves should be into a Yom Tov, and Tisha B'Av should be a Yom Tov, and we should be zeicher that we should learn from, that we should use the Galus that we still have, unfortunately, to bring Geula from the Galus. And Mashiach now, Amen.